Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina, and much more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m., and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $5 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for this Saturday's Bachfest.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
that's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Early break.
Line of the night
on the group chat.
If that was the draw, says Jake,
I'd throw a pizza at the window.
What is that?
What does that mean?
And what I text back right away. What does it?
It means
Well,
exactly what I said.
laughing emoji.
Yes.
I have no clue what that means. What Coach Bush
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in Don't Punt Hour here on just a beautiful Tuesday night. Enjoying the weather as always. Got DeMornay Pierson-El, the host as always, 402-464-5685. You guys can always join in. That is the Starter Heyman text line. And Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo channel 961. You can put a face to the voice. We got the cameras working again after the troubles of last night. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going? We got just a few days left, and then we are out of what feels like Alaska.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It just went out. That was a beautiful picture you painted, talking about a magical night. Yeah, all right. I believe it when it's more constant heat or a better day, but it's Taco Tuesday, so feeling great.
Yeah, it is Taco Tuesday. There's always that. We can always thank LeBron James for Taco Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, we just got to make it till I think Monday. I think Monday's 55 degrees, but as always, we're not going to talk about the weather. That's not our job here. We'd be pretty bad sports radio station if that's what we did. We're going to talk Husker hoops because obviously tomorrow it's an earlier game. They got Penn State. They're on the road. Burke Bear-Eucton-Gel, he's not going to be available. Obviously, he wasn't there for the Washington trip, and they didn't come back for that one. They're going straight to Penn State. So as a result, Burke, he's still not going to be there. But that game takes place at 5:30. So likely, DeMornay Pierson will have some sort of a shortened version whenever that game gets over. Likely gets over around 7:30. So we're going to talk about that. And also real quick, I do want to get out the Timmerman news, the Husker baseball pitcher who took a rough hop off the bat straight to the face. Because I was trying to figure out, he had to have broken something. He did. Later made the trip to the emergency room and learned that he did indeed fracture a bone near the eye socket. Surgery would be necessary, but there's already talk of him getting to the mound as soon as possible with some custom protective gear. That's Nebraska grit right there. Guy just broke a bone near his eye socket.
The one-eyed bandit. I mean, he's live and direct. I don't know. Is that really a strain? Can you do a lot of activity? I mean, it's not. I understand.
I think. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I think it is one of those things. I don't it's a bone socket, or a bone near the eye socket that it's just going to take a lot of time and surgery, like they said, to, I don't know, clean up whatever the fractured bones are in there. And then it's just going to take a lot of time. So I imagine that's why they're trying to figure out.
I know he's going to have one hell of a headache. I know that.
Oh, my Lord. Well, the thing that blew my mind is that he stuck around for the end of that game. He didn't go to the emergency room after. He just was gushing blood on the mound, gets walked off. I can imagine. I mean, his face was swelling up by the second.
What? His eye? He looked like Rocky.
He looked worse than Rocky. I mean, that's Nebraska grit. So I know we talked about it before, but now that we got the actual injury, I just want to give him another shout out because what a representative of what it means.
Did they say a timeline, I guess, on the healing, or once he has surgery, he can be back to playing in a week?
So they it's crazy. The team, this is what we got. The team expects Timmerman to be back soon, sporting whatever protective gear necessary. When he does return, he won't just be another pitcher. He'll be the guy who took the baseball to the face, grinned through the blood, and pumped his fist in triumph. And this one's an article. Let me get the proper name here from Tanner Johnson talking about it, but he did get the scoop that they are going to try to get him out there sooner than later. And to your point, that's just one where you're going to have to get protective gear because it's not like you can just go ahead and quick patch that up. So they'll figure out a way.
Is it a helmet? Is it like a half a helmet with a face shield?
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Is it more so like the softball type gear? Where do we?
it's custom. So wherever that bone fractured at near his eye socket, if it's right under the cheek, I imagine they'll just have it.
Baseball is it's such a dangerous sport. You got to watch out.
It's nuts.
I can't even. Oh, that's you got to watch out for that one, boy. I tell you.
That's why every now and then, being the pitcher, I always wonder, because every now and then you do get those freak.
What's worse, the pitcher or being the batter? Because they can. I feel like people get hit with the batter gets hit with baseballs more than I would say a pitcher.
Yeah, at least usually though, with the batter, you can see it coming. Unless you got a dirty pitcher who's just trying to take your head off, which happened way more in the past than it does today. But at least you can embrace yourself. That last second will probably still hit you, but you can kind of torque and brace yourself. With the pitcher, if it's coming back at you, there's zero time to react to that thing. So you're gonna take it wherever it hits you. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Timmerman. So you're more likely to get hit for sure as the hitter, but you're the pitcher and that thing comes screaming back at you. Good luck having the reaction time to brace yourself. And that's what we saw with Timmerman. There's no way in hell you're predicting that just brutal hop right up into his face like that. 104 off the bat. You're not going to have time to recognize. As opposed to the pitcher who's already kind of got his body sideways. He could lean away, worst case scenario. We've seen bad stuff, but yeah, so that's it on Timmerman. He's gonna try to get back out there sooner than later with some custom gear. And we'll see it. But he's definitely gonna be a fan favorite for the rest of the season just because of
for sure
willingness to go out there
for sure.
And they are sitting, I believe, 24 ranked D1. They got him up there, and the net rankings is up there as well. So Nebraska baseball, good trip in Arizona. They're gonna have some more neutral site games. Looking good, and luckily with Timmerman, even though it was a crazy freak injury, it looks like he is going to be able to come back. With that being said, that's it on the Husker baseball. We'll talk about them more as the season goes on. Obviously, still very early. Let's go ahead and dive into Nebraska basketball. They got Penn State. The spread's not even out. It's just off. I'm not sure why on ESPN. They do have the matchup predictor pretty much 50-50. They're calling it a coin toss. Penn State is 13-13, 3-12 in conference play. So this is a bad, quote unquote, opponent. Looking at their last straight five losses for Penn State, and I think it even goes further back than that. Yeah, so we'll start the losing streak for Penn State, and we'll even go a little bit further back. So it really started all the way back versus Indiana. They lost to Illinois. They lost to Oregon. They lost to Michigan State. They did beat Rutgers at home. Then they lost to Iowa. Then they lost to Michigan. Then they lost to Ohio State. Then they lost to Minnesota. Then they lost to UCLA. Then they lost to USC. Then they lost to Washington. It's been bad for Penn State basketball. So this is a game where there's not a lot left to play for them other than just pride. So I think teams like that, Nebraska can't have a slow start.
You can't. You got to go in there and crush the spirit, crush the hope. Just lean on them, get a comfortable lead, and just keep the pedal, mashed down. Just take out their hope from the beginning. You've been to other places. You've been down 20 and come back. So, don't overlook the team just because of the record and whatnot. They are home, and we know how the Big Ten playing on the road is. But, Nebraska has been playing well lately on the road. So, hopefully this is just, another win, another notch to kind of just stamp and push us closer to what, the team goal is.
Yeah, and luckily it does feel like Nebraska's kind of figured out what their goal is, what their identity is. I shouldn't say goal. The goal has always been clear. Get to March Madness and to finally get that monkey off your back the same way Nebraska football was. Go out there, get to a bowl game, and go win one. Nebraska basketball's had this hanging over their head forever. They're still sitting good. Like if the tournament started today, they'd be in there. They wouldn't have to play in a buy-in. They'd probably be like a 10-9. So it's looking good. They just have to finish strong here. And just taking a look at Penn State here, where they're sitting. I like Ken Pom probably the most. To me, it seems most accurate. Right now, Penn State, they're sitting about 71st overall in offense, about 114 points per 100 possessions. In defense, even worse, 95th in the country on defense, allowing 103.5 per 100 possessions. So this is a game where, again, you look at Penn State. They're not very good offensively, and they're even worse defensively. And if you look on the flip side to Nebraska, who's continued to make waves all the way up there in 37 overall, and Ken Pom, They're sitting there again. We kind of know about the offensive woes of Nebraska, but even then, it's not as bad as what you see in Penn State. 60th overall, 115.6 points per 100 possession. The strength of Nebraska has been obvious all year. It's the defense.
Yeah.
Nebraska's defense allowing only 98 points per 100 possessions. That's good enough to give you 35th best defense in the country. Thought it might be a little bit higher, but looking back, that Purdue game certainly didn't help. That Michigan State game certainly didn't help. We've had some games really get away from us that have led to that defensive efficiency number dropping. But if you just take a sample size of, say, the last 5 games, it'd look good to Nebraska compared to what the last 5 of Penn State have been. When you're playing a team like Penn State, like what is the attitude that you can kind of compare it to football? When you're the team on paper, you're supposed to go on this thing and win it, and not even just win it. You're clearly better on talent. Like you want to win by a comfortable cushion. I'm sure you guys don't look at betting odds, but the world's basically going to say this is your game to go and lose if you choose to. What's the mindset you took as an athlete? Walking into environments where all the pressure is on you because no one expects anything from Penn State.
You have to kind of silence the noise from the outside. Everybody has a job, understand what the goal is. Regardless of them maybe not being as good, I think they only scored over like 100 points. I was just looking at their record. I think they only scored over 100 points twice in the season. They hang around 70 to 80 points range. I think they've only gotten to like 90 a couple times. So they're not, an aggressive team. They're not going to shoot the lights out in the gym. You kind of know what to expect when you're playing them. With them is just you can't give them any type of momentum. You can't give them any room to breathe. The team walking in there, as long as you come in there with understanding what needs to be done, and it's more so about us and less about them to take care of the situation, get in your rhythm early, often, and fast, and kind of just, make them be mentally defeated, physically defeated. It makes the game a lot easier. So as long as you're taking care of business and whatnot, the game should go as they plan it out to be. We've seen Nebraska take down teams like this or better teams. So it's just hopefully, the right Nebraska team shows up. It's not so much about Penn State. It's more so much about, okay, let's continue to play consistent. Let's continue to play better basketball and to the level of what we can. And, shut this team down. I mean, you've seen what happened against what Northwestern. That could have been a whole lot uglier. You can't show up to a game like this and kind of back-to-back and expect, that to kind of pull out. It's an away game, and it's one game that will help you, to push what your goal is later in or in a few weeks to figure out, exactly what you need.
Yeah, I mean, for just about everybody in the Big Ten here, there's like 5 games most, 6 games probably at most for some of these teams out here. Like, there's just not a lot of season left to leave your mark. And again, when you're looking at Penn State, I think you're right in saying it's like you got to play your game. Like, don't go with this. Penn State hasn't figured out what their game is yet. So if you let them find it out in this one right here, it's just a game where you got to crush that confidence early. And unfortunately, that has been one of the problems of Nebraska. Clearly, we saw it in that Northwestern game, 21 points at half. There might have been 10 people in Nebraska that thought Nebraska was actually going to be able to come back and win that, just being realistic. And you talked about Penn State. The couple games they scored 100 points in, like, it was the Binghamton Bearcats, a formidable opponent, a powerhouse in college basketball, and then the UMBC Retrievers. The Golden Retrievers actually got a little bit of history. I think that was the first team ever to pull off the 1-16 upset. That was when Virginia was the number 1 seed overall, and it was the UMBC Golden Retrievers. I think
let's not talk about Virginia. That's my home state. So relax.
Well, they're the ones that did it. To be fair, after that, it happened more and more often. And I think Virginia won it the next year, didn't they?
Or went far in. I don't think they've won it, but they went. They went to like a Final Four or something like that. The only ACC teams to really win it has been North Carolina and Duke.
I want to say
Virginia has gone far in the tournament, Elite Eight.
They won it in 2019. They did win it.
Did?
Yeah, so 2018. That's when the Retrievers upset them, and it was an ultimate revenge tour from Virginia the next year to go ahead and win it.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, since then they haven't done anything, unfortunately.
No, they haven't.
But I mean, hey, to go do that.
Baseball school,
Yeah. We can roll with that one. What is Virginia's basketball program looking like these days? They've kind of fallen off.
They've kind of fallen off a little bit. They were, I wouldn't say a powerhouse, but they were kind of like Gonzaga. Gonzaga was streaky for a minute. They were strong, and I don't necessarily know what happened. They just haven't really been the same. Honestly, for a while, because they were kind of one of the top heavier teams in the ACC. Like,
oh yeah, every year.
I mean, after North Carolina and Duke, Virginia was right up there with it.
Yeah, and they've almost like a little bit of Wichita State Shockers-esque. Like Wichita State Shockers, I don't think they ever got to that, maybe quite that level. But they just completely fell off the map after that. Was a team like every year you'd see highly seeded in March Madness, and then all of a sudden, you just never see them in there anymore, or just few and in between. But they're sitting 12th in the ACC right now. So yeah, Virginia not having necessarily a great year themselves. The record's not terrible, but certainly not the position you'd want to be in that conference. Focusing on Nebraska basketball, because with Penn State, we can keep nitpicking this thing apart. It's a team that you need to beat. It's a team that probably doesn't have a whole lot of hope for postseason play, even the Big Ten tournament. Penn State's looking on the outside door of that. Like they might not even get to play conference tournament game. So again, just a game you got to go in there. Just more solely on Nebraska, though. What are the challenges of, again, Penn State? They're going to play physical, just about every Big Ten team in there. And this is the second game in a row without Burke Bear-Uchtengel, who's the guy that, in my opinion, is really starting to found his own in this roster. What are the challenges of, you saw some of it in Northwestern. What do we got to do to fill that void?
It's hard to pick out one guy because, it's a team thing. I think last year we seen a team like focus on one guy, and if that guy's having a good night, Tom Managa, it was different. This year, the team is different. Of course, there's Bryce. Bryce is going to do what he does. Oh, yeah. But you also need, a supporting cast. Jawan, he's hit. The three-point shooter, he's hit at times and whatnot. I think it's a collective group. You can't just individually pick out one guy. The other thing, we've seen with teams that score under 80 points, typically. It's typically falls in our favor. It seems like Penn State is a team that struggles to score 79 points. So if you keep them under, let's say, 75, I feel a lot more comfortable just because how we turn up on things. They're a physical team, but again, if you take the fight out of the dog early, how much of that are you still going to continue to get? With players being out and whatnot, you have to be a little bit more creative and getting people involved more, which I think is a good thing because you can see the team, other guys flourish without just relying on one or two guys or one of three guys. You have to have a lot more people involved. A lot more people are taking a lot chances. So I think that is good for us because we've seen what have happened over these last couple of games, and not just Northwestern, the Maryland game, and Oregon and Ohio State before then. So it's a collective thing. I don't want to say, like this guy has to have a good night because he could have a good night and we could still lose.
Well, yeah,
we don't. But I think if you got six or seven guys that have at least 12 points or more, I think that's fairly rounded. I think that's an easy objective to get for a team. For your starters or a few people off the benches, or if four of your five starters are in double digits, I feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, that's I'm with you. It's got to be a team effort. If I wanted to go towards one guy, I'd say like Braxton Mia. You got another game coming your way. Like there's a void in the quote unquote enforcer role. Like it's never like always been Burke's the enforcer. He's not Draymond Green out there giving some reverse chokeholds on people, but he was certainly a great defensive high energy player. And especially in that game versus Northwestern, in that second half, you saw Braxton Mia start to realize, and maybe not even realize, just get more comfortable in that spot. Because I think he always knew that's his role in these games. Collecting rebounds, he finished with a team high in 7 in that one. Did a better job in that second half, getting on the glass, and also just finding himself getting open. He's just one of those guys, when you're that tall, and you got a little bit of athleticism, you're just going to be a matchup problem if the other team doesn't have somebody that height or size. And Northwestern didn't. And towards the end, they really started to expose that, especially as Northwestern was starting to panic as Nebraska's coming back. All of a sudden, here comes some easy lobs to Braxton Mia's way. On the defensive side, he was just doing a much better job being that help defender and understanding where he needs to slide over. Maybe not even necessarily to contest, but just to stop them from penetrating as deeply as they had been in that first half. Looking at, Penn State in this one, Baldwin Jr., he's their guard. He's their point guard. He's going to be their main playmaker in this one. He is not a very efficient scorer.
No.
I think that's going to be the key for Nebraska. And why I like this matchup is just we do have some really good perimeter defense at times. And when we do double inside, they do, especially this late in the season. You can tell they're just getting better and better and better each week at rotating once they do kick it out of that double team. You want Baldwin Jr. to try to win this game, I think. Let him take some poor, inefficient shots. I like our defense versus him. And if you try to make him the hero of this game, I like Nebraska's chances a lot. He's shooting about 37% on the year. He is a good free throw shooter, 93%, so you don't want to foul him. But certainly you want to contest him anytime he's near the rim. He doesn't quite have that touch, and he doesn't quite have the confidence shooting this year. He's had some games where if he's feeling it, you maybe change the structure a little bit. But more often than not, he's been pretty streaky. So I'm okay if he likes to take some early shot clock attempts, let him have it. I'd much rather have that than them working through their offense because he is a good passer. And when he plays selfless, he's a lot better of a player, in my opinion. So I think that's going to be the key for this one. The rebounding, like I said, they don't necessarily have, in my mind, like a ton of physicality and size to where we should lose in that rebounding battle, especially if Braxton Mia shows up the same way he did in that second half versus Northwestern, not that first half version. And then for the other guys, like the offense is the one thing that we've constantly harped on. Do you feel like it's gotten better? Or is it just we're experiencing Bryce Williams having moments of just elite takeovers?
I still think it's a combination of both because sometimes, without him, we wouldn't be in certain situations or whatnot. So, yes, there's that fact of it. But also you have games where, a teammate will have 20. Or a few teammates will have over 15 or whatnot, or, a hot 3-point shooting night and everything like that. So it's just not only because of that, because, it's been games where he's gone for over 20 points. He's gone for over 30 points and we still lose. And we lose because, the supporting cast necessarily doesn't take care of business or the whole team, misses free throws or too many turnovers. So it's just not, one particular, if this happens, it's exactly that. I think it's a happy medium of both things making sure to happen. Him being an elite scorer, being, the guy on the team, taking control when it's needed, evening things out. Also, your supporting roles doing their part and helping you to finish over the finish line.
Yeah, and the magic number for Nebraska basketball to wrap up this first segment. And Eric Strickland called it out really early in the season, just kind of what he felt, what the limitations of the offense were. And he says that magic number for Nebraska, and it's crazy because he said this early on, was 75 points.
Mm-hmm.
If Nebraska gives up more than 75 points, they are going to lose more often than not. And to this point, every single one of Nebraska's losses are because the team scored more than 75 points. You look at all their wins outside of Maryland, where it was 66-69 or something really low scoring. And then you look at all of Nebraska's wins, every single win they've had, they've kept the opposing team under 75 points outside of South Dakota. And that South Dakota game was interesting. South Dakota was just on fire from 3-point line. So they actually got to 79, but their defense wasn't keeping up. Nebraska scored 96. But you just go through all their games. Like that's been the number. If Nebraska lets these teams score over 75 points, unfortunately, the offense just hasn't been good enough to kind of keep up with them. Again, Maryland's the odd example. South Dakota's the odd.
Out of their last 7 or 8 games, they've only gotten over 70 points 3 times. One of the times was against Washington, and then the other time was the first two losses to start their skid. So they're not a high scoring team at all. So they struggle to get what it seems like, 275, at least that. So they've lost 92-67, 78-54, 69-61, 83-64, 76-72. So they're not a really high efficient scoring team regardless. So you mix that in with, it being our number being 75 and whatnot, you keep them way under that in the 60s or hopefully 50s somewhere. And, we have a good night and everything like that. It could, 20-point win would be successful and, would make you look even better because you're dominating the team.
Yeah, and the other part to attach to this too is it's not like the Nebraska offense certainly struggles at times. So like obviously Northwestern first half, like no brainer. The offense was not good. The other part of it is like why you do see a lot of those scores as well. It's not like, man, Nebraska's offense is just horribly inconsistent. The problem is that they're just giving up a lot of time because of offensive rebounds. That's the other common thing you'll see in a lot of those losses is like there's games where the shooting numbers are bad, and there's other games where Nebraska didn't get 75 points, but you'll look at the box score and be like, well, you shot damn near 50%. The three-pointers were about 35, like 33, about average, 1 for 3 on threes, not bad. Free throws, anywhere between 70 to 80%, and you're like, okay, well, that's not adding up. But then you look at the shot total, and then you look at the turnovers, and then you look at how many offensive rebounds you gave up, and it's like, okay, they just dominated time of possession. They're getting more shots off than we are. So, it's a little bit, yes, the offense at times is not playing super efficient. The other time is the rebounds are playing into that. How many shots they're getting. And we saw that, especially in the first half versus Northwestern. I think Northwestern had 11 offensive boards in that first half within the first 10 minutes of play. Like that's how you get 21 points. It's not just Nebraska was missing shots. It's also, you got to get the ball back.
Yeah.
So Northwestern that first half was just controlling possession after possession after possession, slowly adding to their tally. Nebraska wasn't, burning their shooting percentage. They just weren't shooting the ball because they couldn't get it. So that's the other thing to remember in all this. But I want to shout that out. Strickland said that 75 number early, and it's uncanny how real that's been for this. We'll throw it to break. On the other side, good morning, Pierson-El. We're going to talk Husker football. It's been a minute. I just want to talk broad picture of the most influential moves or the most impactful moves you think Rule and staff have made this offseason, whether it's transfer portals, whether it's coaches, whether it's even philosophy. We'll talk about that next. Some Husker football. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El. Harrison Arns. Don't go anywhere.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of snow showers throughout the day. It'll be breezy and cold with a high of 0. Tonight, a chance of snow showers, otherwise cloudy and cold, a low of -7. And tomorrow, a few flurries possible, otherwise decreasing clouds, continued cold temps, a high of 4 above. I'm meteorologist Kyle Putnam for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go
Husker Nation. It's your last chance to see Nebraska women's hoops in Pinnacle Bank Arena before they head to the Big Ten tournament. Head down to Pinnacle Bank Arena on Sunday, February 23rd at 2 p.m. to watch the Husker women's basketball team compete against Washington. It's senior night, so help them thank the seniors by creating a loud and proud sea of red in the stands. Get your tickets today for as low as $10. Head to huskers.com/tickets to secure your seats today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in segment number 2, 402-464-5685. And I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on this one on the Starter Heyman text line because it's an easy question. There's really no wrong answers, but I'm curious to everyone. What has been the most impactful or influential thing so far this offseason for Husker football, whether it's recruits, whether it's coaching staff, whether it's philosophy? It can really be anything. Good morning, Pierson-El. I'll let you take a swing at it first here. Just so far, everything we've seen, and there's more to come. What so far has been probably the most impactful thing Rule and staff's done so far?
Them signing Dana.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I mean, the guy comes in with a week, and you put up over 40 points against Wisconsin.
Yeah, on that when was the last time Nebraska put up over 40 points outside of the Northwestern? Scott Frost?
No, I feel like they might have put up 40 points last year. I'm not too sure.
Either way, it's so far and few in between, and for him to come here in a week and get that offense humming versus a good, I don't care what you say about Wisconsin and the record, that's good defense. I mean, they ranked a good defense at the end of the year, and you whopped 44 on them. I don't give a damn if it's at home or on the road. That's
the fact that you've been able to tie Dana down, who gave structure to the offense, that gave identity, or a more consistent identity to the offense. You gave a freshman quarterback, a person that will get you there. When Dana came in, he looked completely different. Not to say he looked bad or terrible, in the first hand, but you started to understand setups. What the setup was. Look what they were doing to the national champs. So you're giving him a full off season to be better, a true freshman of his caliber. Your dad was a 15-year pro in the NFL, so you understand a whole lot of things or whatnot. I'm very, very excited, and I think that's probably been the most or the best move this offseason.
Yeah, and especially, I'm not even going to disagree with you. If I had to pick one thing, I think it is Dana, just because what we saw early on, and it just locking him in early. I think that also helps keeping players interested. It's like, no, don't worry. Like that 44 we got with Wisconsin with the new guy Dana, he's still going to be here. If you like Satterfield, he's still here too. It's not like he's inaccessible.
He didn't go anywhere. He just changed rooms. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally all he did. So he's still there. And it does seem like Matt Rule taking a little bit more of a CEO approach. That's the same kind of thing that Ryan Day, supposedly they're giving him credit for taking more of the CEO approach. We saw that with his offense this year, certainly, of him taking a little bit more hands off on that.
So it's because of him they won a national championship? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, you have to be CEO.
Oh, yeah. All right. I was just asking, but enough of Ohio State. But I just,
I don't. When you were playing Ohio State, was there a feud between Nebraska and Ohio State? Compared, that was more than other Big Ten teams, or is this just a Ryan Day thing for you?
I wouldn't really say a feud. I mean, the times that I played, that they just absolutely demolished us.
Yeah, so, that's why I never talk trash about it.
To them, they probably didn't care. I wouldn't say a feud. You didn't like them, and I felt like we were better than what we showed in those times we've matched up. It's just your defensive line had multiple first rounders on your first and second string, so that makes things a lot harder.
And some future NFL backs year after year after year.
Yeah, so it wasn't no bad blood or anything like that. I felt like with Wisconsin, it was more so an irritation. With Iowa, it was more so an irritation. Like I felt like it was a mutual respect with Ohio State. They've never came crazy or talked crazy. Now Wisconsin or Iowa, completely different.
Yeah, those are always the rivalries that sit highest for me. It's something about Wisconsin drives me nuts. And that's why it felt so good to drop points. No, it's just the fact that that is Nebraska football. They just took that identity, and it's our fault for just punting it across the room like that. But man, it just drove me nuts to see a team like Wisconsin bully Nebraska the same way Nebraska used to bully other people. So that's why that one stung so much. And Wisconsin.
Time and again, other than, well, at least in my time there, other than Melvin Gordon, my freshman year, they weren't so much better than us. It was just a one or two mistakes, and we were we should have beat them time and time again. And this is what the TJ Watt team. This is what a Vince Beagle team. This is what Edwards team. This is what a Jonathan Taylor team. They had some guys, and it just didn't turn in our favor. We just didn't do enough to secure a win.
Yeah, and to your point, a lot of those games, and even really until Nebraska got that big 44, it was just 3-point loss.
Yeah,
7 points at the most. It was one score a game, and it just finally felt good to get the other side of that. Ohio State, I don't have that kind of animosity just because their fans. And also for Ohio State, they weirdly just struggle against us. Considering what the spread is every year, I'm not saying Nebraska goes in there and we're close. This year we actually were close, but we always beat the spread in that game. For whatever reason, Ohio State does not play their best football versus Nebraska. And this year, once again, we had a real chance. On 3 even put out the worst 10 officiating calls of the year in college football. Number 10 was that first down where they said, "Hey, Emmett Johnson, I know you beat it by 2 yards. I know we should go to replay on this because that's what the rules say, but we're not going to do either of those things. We're just going to mark it short. you're going to have to burn the timeout here in a crucial last drive to try to win this ball game. So that whole thing, they put out an apology. It doesn't do anything. But that was a game
Who
where
cares?
legitimately
Keep your apology. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the apologies and all this stuff. I'm like, if you might say you're wrong right there on the spot, otherwise they don't give a damn.
Nope.
Like a few days in advance where you got to think about it. Like there's no thinking about it. You're in the time period to call instant replay. It makes no sense.
You have how many cameras? You have how many? You got a people in the booth to call in it. So it just missed opportunity.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely missed opportunity, and it just pisses me off because that was College Game Day was there. That was a big game. That was a nationally televised game. You should have the best of the best officiating on that one, the best replay crew, and it's like you didn't. You pissed the bed. They flat out did. I'm not saying Nebraska would have won it if they were given that first down.
I mean, we missed a wide open wheel route. We get that might be completely different. So it's not all just the refs. We also didn't make enough plays to make that happen. And I mean, you'll find anything to point at this, and yet it is what it is. It wasn't enough to get the job done.
Yeah, and I think we failed to score after a great turnover as well. I can't remember who. I think they picked it off, and we got real close. Maybe
7.
Like
it was like the nickel. It was at 7. It was number 7. I can't think of his name.
I don't want to misspeak here, but either way, we failed to punch that one in. I remember that, and that was a massive point.
It hurt.
A game like that. Tangent there. Didn't mean to talk about Ohio State. The other thing I'll throw out there: influential changes that Nebraska football. I think Mike Eckler is obviously huge. The other thing, though, that I think is important to note is Ed Foley is also still on staff. And you might feel certain ways about Ed Foley just because the way the special teams has looked. He has a really good recruiting pulse in the local area. And I do think it is good to understand that he's on staff. And that is a big deal because his tie-in with local talent is big. So to keep him in there, I mean, he's well known by all the coaches around Nebraska. He's got those connections. He knows about the players that are quote unquote, worthy of looking at or potential 3-star, 4 stars. If Nebraska, maybe even hell, there's 5 stars out there. I'm not sure, but it is good to keep him on staff. And we're seeing this more and more with Rule of just like keeping guys on staff, showing that loyalty. I'm not sure how the paperwork's going to add up. We also gave our running backs coach a nice little pay bump as well.
Yeah, some teams were after him.
Yeah, and understandably so.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're kind of in this now with coaches in Satterfield. I'm not sure how much is going to look like. We have Phil Snow on there as well. We'll certainly see more changes. But right now, this is a loaded coaching staff. We added guys and pretty much retained everybody with them. We moved on. I'm blanking on the wide receiver coach, the young guy, McGuire, and we got Shorts in from Kentucky, who I think might have also been at Houston for a little bit as well. And I like that upgrade. McGuire is one guy who obviously left, but a lot of those big name coaches, like they're still on staff. So we still got those recruiting pulses, but we've also added some talent. One other guy, I don't want to hear your thoughts on this, is Terry Braden. That's a guy I've talked about him before. I'm really excited about that. You grab a coach from a winning culture who's been at that winning culture for 8 years, who's been working with one of the best defense players in the league in Jones. I like Braden on this staff, especially the need to make sure that unit stays intact, losing some great key players.
Yeah.
Ty Robinson, Nash, not to mention, linebackers that we lost. I'd like Vincent Shavers. I hope to see him have a massive explosion in performance for him. But how big is Terry Brad? Getting him from
I think it's huge. You win and lose games in the trenches. We're losing a lot on the D line, period. On the defensive side, we're losing a lot holistically. From coaches to players. Like it just, when it hit hard. So to get that caliber of a guy who understands who's been working for the Chiefs, who understands and been around, guys and everything like that. I think he will be he's definitely a good addition because he's seen it. He knows what it takes at an elite level, at a championship level. Now it's just kind of getting here and getting used to the guys and getting them to fully blossom into what they're supposed to be. So if I wouldn't say Dana, he's probably one of the other things that I would say.
Yeah, I think and he got maybe, I don't want to say underlooked because there's just a lot of news. I don't think it's fair to say underlooked because we're just getting new pieces of news every day as this thing was going on here. And then obviously Matt Rule's making his rounds now off season. He's talking to Josh Pate. So that's news right there. But he is a guy that I think can have a significant impact and maybe a guy that'll stay here longer than a guy who's going to retain. How do I want to say this? Not necessarily looking to job hop anytime soon. I mean, he was very loyal with the Kansas City Chiefs. If he, this is a good starting spot as that coordinator position, or not the defensive coordinator, at that position coach. I like what he's going to be able to do.
It's going to be different from the pros because, I mean, the only time you kind of really recruit is free agency. And that's kind of, you already know kind of what you're getting into. So it's a bit different, and I'm pretty sure, like, you have to adjust to things or whatnot, but the game is still the game. And if you're a guy that kids like to be around and feel comfortable and you bring the best out of them, you'll get who you want.
Well said. With that being said, we'll throw out the break here. We'll keep talking about this in particular. I'm going to talk about some of the transfer guys as well that I think obviously going to have an impact and likely to start for Nebraska in this upcoming season. Don't go anywhere. Segment number 3 coming up next. Don't punt out. We got the morning Pierson-El host as always. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. Talk to you in a bit.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina, and much more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m., and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $5 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for this Saturday's Bachfest.
February is American Heart Month, and with heart disease as the #1 leading cause of death in Nebraska, now is the best time to start thinking about your health. Maintaining a healthy blood pressure is one of the best ways to avoid heart disease, and the blood pressure screening is fast, easy, and can be free. The best way to get screened is at your yearly wellness visit with your doctor. For more information and ways to get a blood pressure screening, search Chronic Disease Nebraska. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in at Don't Punt Hour, segment number 3. DeMornay Pierson-El joining me as always. You guys can always join in. Sorry, him and text line as well as the streams. Wrapping this thing up here, still on Nebraska football, talking about what have been the most impactful moves, changes so far in this offseason. We talked about a lot of the coaching staff in segment number 2. This one I want to dive more into the players. Since we kind of left talking about Terry Brad and that defensive line, I'm going to go easy. I'm going to take the layup here. Getting Williams-Winnari. Originally a 5-star on threes, now got him as a 4-star, but nonetheless, you got a 4-star player out of Missouri to go ahead and take that defensive end position. That's going to help out a lot. You know, you got a good edge rusher right there, and that's some weapons that we need to kind of refill that roster. So I'm going to start off with that one. Good morning, Pierson-El. Give me some of the transfers you like.
The offensive lineman. I mean, national championship runner-up, regardless. I mean, the pedigree that you're getting. You know, like I said, you win in the trenches. So I think that's one of the best, you know, guys that they can bring in.
Yeah, on top of that, you got the Alabama guy as well, right? You got Pritchett and you got
I forgot about that one too. Yeah. So both of them, I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, he was pretty early on, but that was a big one. It's like, because, you know, with this offensive line, I'm not going to say like we need it desperately, because I just don't know what the development fully looks like. The moments we've seen some of these backup offensive linemen get played, they haven't looked bad. With that being said, anytime you can add more talent in the room, especially with a guy who just won a championship,
do so.
Yeah, and a guy who's been in Alabama, an absolute powerhouse.
Do so.
Yeah, so
when
I like
you can do it.
Those ones are obviously pretty big. Yeah, Elijah Pritchett. You know, he was a 4-star. He is a 3-star now on 3. But nonetheless, you get some depth there. And like I said, Williams-Winnari. And then, of course, we get Rocco Spindler out of Notre Dame, who was a 4-star coming out of high school and is still a 4-star. You know, trying to find some of these other guys that maybe aren't as highly talked about. You know, we did pick up some more depth, certainly in the defense. A guy like Andrew Marshall, coming from a group of 5 school. Trying to find here Kevin Gallick. You know, we got a safety out of that. Another group of 5 school. Jalen George, another group of 5 school at that defensive line position. Marquise Watson Trent actually went to Georgia Southern. You know, unranked out of high school, now a 3-star linebacker after his play in college already. Any of these 3 stars are not, you know, getting away from the 4 stars that you like, that are you're going to add some much needed depth to this roster.
I can't say like which exactly one, but understanding maybe being like some of those athletes being pissed off or kind of overlooked. You know, they might bring something a little bit more to them. Clearly, their film showed, you know, a lot of promise and everything like that, whether it's, you know, Power 5 or other schools or whatnot. But the fact that, you know, that they landed where they landed, that's not that's not by accident. That's not by, oh, you know, you had a few good players. No, you were a standout guy and you were brought here for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you put on tape and everything like that will definitely be magnified. Again, you have who you have at quarterback. You have who you have as a head coach. You have who you have as an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So there are going to be a lot of eyes on Nebraska. Period. So you know, good luck and be prepared for what's about to come.
Yeah, and let's have some fun with it at the end here. Let's talk about the stuff that probably makes Dana Holgorsen smile a little bit and Shorts smile a little bit before they fall asleep at night. With Shorts, we got a couple of really good players. We got Dane Key, the 4-star wide receiver out of Kentucky, and also Hardly Gilmore. Was a 4-star out of high school, now a 3-star on 3 here, also from Kentucky. And then another really great wide receiver, the 4-star wide receiver, Isaiah Hunter out of Cal. So, I mean, we got some loaded wide receivers as well. You know, you might have been a little bit worried, you know, obviously Isaiah Nair being a senior, and he looked really promising, especially on his senior pro day. Now, you're getting a lot of notice. We're losing some depth there. Even some of the guys that weren't getting a ton of reps, they're getting older. That's some really good depth right there. And it's just going to give Dylan Raiola some options. And it was well Dana Holgorsen and, you know, Short out there at the wide receiver coach. I don't know what it's all going to look like, but I just see a lot of talent on this roster.
I can tell you, get these teams, you know, if they play in cover 1, it's over. If they play in cover 3, you know, it's over because we're going to, you know, run the ball. So you're going to have to play man coverage, and good luck.
That's what I love to hear. The real key is, as we wrap things up here, and final question for you, how much improvement do we need out of Dylan Raiola?
I won't say a huge step, but a pretty good step. The rookie mistakes and everything like that should be eliminated. You should look like a polished athlete. You're a 5-star, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation and everything like that. So I'm expecting you to come out and play phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fair, right? I expect a significant jump out of him, but I also don't, you know, I'm not going to harp on the freshman woes because he was a true freshman. So I expect a big jump out of him, but I'm certainly expecting he's capable of making it, especially with, I mean, we went through the wide receivers. We got some great offensive line talent. We got a really great defensive edge rusher, as well as a bunch of other guys, the 3-stars that we didn't have time to get through them all. But plenty of positive signs for Nebraska football in the offseason thus far. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always. We'll talk again on a shortened version of the Don't Punt Hour so we can follow up the post game with Penn State after.
Are you ready for a new